Hey guys, Chef here. I was bored the other day, or by the other day I mean like 30 minutes ago. God, I hate that phrase because sometimes that really is confusing. Anyways, to the point. I was watching some videos and on my feed, and I got something from G-Man from his cousin Kendall. Um, well, I know it's his cousin because they kind of fall into the same traps a lot. But I wanted to show you guys what I'm talking about. So let's begin.
Gary, I don't know why you keep going back and forth with them. It's a whole bunch of malarkey. This idea that atheists are not what? Yes, presuppositionalists. Yes, I normally use that word fairly often recently. It's just I got tongue tied for a minute.
No, no, you didn't. You had to stop and ask somebody off camera what the word was. That's how I know that you and G Man are related, because you both seem to have this problem with big words. Either use the wrong word altogether, use a word that sounds similar to the word that you're actually looking for, but it's definitely not it, or you have a problem saying the word in general. So here's a tip from some guy that makes really bad videos and bad editing to you. When you start off that strong, start over. Just start over fresh. It can save you from a lot of difficulties down the road.
Of course, atheists are presuppositionalists. What are they presupposing? They presuppose that their five senses is suitable to ascertain all knowledge that can be ascertained, or that the five senses of humanity, let's say as a collective, is suitable to ascertain all knowledge that may be ascertained.
You know, when you meet someone and you listen to them talk for a while, you can kind of quickly pick up on their natural vocabulary and the extent of the words that they would tend to use in a conversation. Um, and then when you see them again, and you see them trying to throw out new words or bigger words, there is this slight hesitation, I guess you would call it. Just a, it doesn't flow freely. It's almost like it hasn't been, used enough in conversation for them, so they're kind of forcing it into the conversation. Um, that is what I'm getting when I'm listening to Kenny, or I'm sorry if I'm calling you Kenny. I don't know why I just threw that off. I'm watching too much South Park. Kendall speak. Um, it doesn't sound like you really use these words on a regular basis. It sounds like you're just trying to sound smart because of that whole flood with the presuppositional word from earlier. But that's not really that important. Let's move on. Kendall is absolutely correct when he says that we presuppose things. We all do. We all presuppose things based on our current knowledge or our current set of beliefs. However, this grossly misdefines what presuppositionalism is. Presuppositionalism is a school of Christian apologetics that believes the Christian faith is the only basis for rational thought. It presupposes that the Bible is divine revelation and attempts to expose flaws in other worldviews, basically saying that without God, there is no knowledge. That is presuppositionalism. Us presupposing something or another does not count. We are not presuppositionalist by definition. So that needs to stop. But let's get back to the point. Kendall speaks of our philosophical naturalism, basically saying that if we want to verify something, we have to use the empirical senses to be able to do so. However, that causes a big problem when it comes to the spiritual realm, because the Christians have defined the spiritual realm as something that is supernatural, something that is beyond the natural realm, that is, scientifically, cannot be observed, measured, quantified, or and so forth. But how can we use that as a tool to learn new things if it is if it's beyond our natural realm? How can we learn anything from it if it is something that is beyond us? What kind of knowledge are we going to get from this supernatural realm anyways? The existence of a god or a deity? Oh, well, that's great. What about all those really cool questions that we're trying to figure out? Like what were the biological compounds that formed our life? What about are there other galaxies? Are there other universes? Are there other races similar to ours existing right now that we've never met before? Are there aliens? These are the kinds of questions that scientists have been trying to answer for a long dang time, and you Christians with the access to the foundation of knowledge that is God, but he doesn't seem to really care to tell you guys anything because you guys are way less understanding of these questions than the scientists that are looking it up are. So why would I believe that this spiritual tool that is available to us that we're refusing actually does any good for us? What kind of truths does it answer? What kind of things can we learn about our universe from it?
We claim, and we know it's true, but to be objective for the sake of intercoursing with you guys.
Intercourse? You mean discourse? I mean, if you're into that kind of thing, that's fine, but can you at least take me to dinner first?
But it seems like things have turned around because the theist minds are open. You atheists, since you close yourself off with the notion that this material world is all that there is, it turns out that you guys are the closed-minded ones. And we're the ones open-minded.
Every time I hear somebody say about being open-minded, I think of like those, pot-smoking hippies, like, whoa, man, you need to learn to be open-minded, man. How do you know that every person's life, isn't like this, weird intergalactic light game of life where some kid off in another galaxy is actually controlling your life with a little spin of the spinny thingy, man. And everything you've experienced is on his intergalactic life board, man. Or that maybe we're this, program, this entire universe is just a program on somebody's iPhone, man. We don't know. Why are you being so, closed-minded to those possibilities, Christians? Why don't you believe those possibilities? Are you being closed-minded to it? No. It's just that you've taken the evidence, things that you've seen in the world and your experiences that, you feel are from God, and you don't believe that. We did the same thing. This is not about us being closed-minded. It's about us not wanting to be just gullible to any idea that somebody throws out there. And if you want to call us, closed-minded, that's just laughable at best. Myself, I am an agnostic atheist, which means I am currently not convinced by the arguments for a God, but being that we don't know everything about the universe, it is possible for a God to exist. And so I am actually open to the idea of God existing, or a God existing. But you as Christians, the ones that are like G-Man, maybe yourself, Kendall, or those that believe that they are 100% certain that God exists, you, by definition, are being more closed-minded than I am. I am willing to change my mind. I am willing to be convinced. Otherwise, you are not. That is closed-minded. I am going out and looking at new information. I'm trying to understand cosmology better and paleontology to understanding, evolution and the dinosaurs and, the transitional forms and whatnot, and trying to understand where our universe came from and how scientists have even figured out how to do all these things that they do, and to understand the possibility that galaxies have other people out there that or different life forms that could be as smart or smarter than us, or have existed or will exist in the future while we're dead. That is an amazing, just a humbling thought to know that we are not alone in the universe, or we're not that special. And I'm willing to look that information up. However, you, on the other hand, as Christians, are mostly just happy with, oh, well, God did it. God made evolution work, and it doesn't matter about these other planets because, it's all for God's glory. It doesn't matter if it's infinite or whatever. It's just all about God. I need to focus on what God's planned for in my life. I need to keep my head down and just keep trudging forward. Don't care about anything else, just God. That is closed-minded. So no, those like us that are philosophical naturalists are not closed-minded. We're just not willing to believe in your candy land. This is the Atheist Chef signing off. Peace.